In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Scribo Piuma fountain pen. I will go over the specs, I will do a writing sample, and I'll tell you what I like and don't like about this pen coming up. Like here with Blake's Broadcast, on this channel I review fountain pens, paper, and ink, and as always I put links in the show notes in the description below. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, it really helps out my channel. Alright, let's get on with the review. This is the Scribo Piuma. Piuma in Italian means feather, and this color combination is called Essenza, which in Italian means absence. It's just a solid black resin with silver trim. And this is my first Scribo that I've personally bought. I did a review of the Feel, which was loaned to me previously. I'll put a link to that up in the corner. The Piuma is a little bit more affordable. Retail price on these is around $500 or 459 euros. And these are cartridge converter pens instead of a piston filler. Now, I was extremely lucky because I was able to get this on eBay for around $260, and I got it in the color that I wanted, the pure black with the silver, again called Essenza, which in Italian means absence. It's, I think, quite a good looking pen. It's a very simple pen, but the more that I've used it, the more I've really liked this pen. Now, in terms of the shape here, it kind of reminds me of like a Nakai shape, where it's sort of weighted more heavily towards the waist here, and then it really tapers down. And we have flat ends here on the top and the bottom. There is a little finial with a feather on there, which is appropriate for this Piuma. The clip has a very simple square looking design, but if you look at the side profile, you can see it's heavier up top and then it kind of curves around. It's a pretty substantial looking clip. I think it's pretty nicely made, good tension on there. And you'll notice that there is a flat section where the clip is, which kind of extends down to the body, and it's mirrored also on the back here. Now, the first thing that annoyed me about this pen when I got it was that this doesn't really line up. Now, I can turn it more so that it will be really in line there, but it takes too much effort to do that. I'm worried I'm going to cause a crack or something like that. So I kind of just use it like this, which is unfortunate, but I've gotten used to it. It doesn't bug me as much as it used to. I really do wish that lined up. Then we can see it says Scribo here, and that's pretty much it for markings on the body of the pen. It is threaded. Now, you do have a pretty big step down here, but at least for the way that I hold the pen, it doesn't bother me. I don't actually touch it because we do have a nice long grip section here, and it does taper towards the end before flaring out. And here again we have the same Scribo nib. This is a 14 karat gold flex nib, and this is the extra fine version here. And then we have the ebonite feed on the back. These nibs again are made by Bock, supposedly using the Omas Bock machinery. Now, I really liked the nib on that Scribo Feel that I reviewed previously. This one is very good. It's not as flexible as that one, so I don't know if there's batch variation. I suspect that there's some variation there. This one is still very flexible. It is a very nice writer, but not quite as good as the one on the Feel that I reviewed previously. Now, it does come with its own converter, which is branded, and it looks like I'm almost out of ink here, so might need to do something about that. One of the great things about these pens is that they come in so many different nib grades. They have extra fine all the way to triple broad to stub in 18 karat gold, and then in 14 karat gold is their flex nibs like I have here. They go from extra fine to broad, so that's really nice. I really am liking what Scribo is doing here. I do wish the pens were overall better looking. However, I do really like this one, and I'm very happy to have this in my collection. Now, in terms of The size of this pen, it's roughly 145 millimeters, uncapped. And I like that these flat ends so it doesn't roll on the desk. I think that's nice. This is about 133. Posted. This thing does post. You notice how it's kind of crooked. It's actually pretty secure, but it's becomes a little bit top heavy, and it's not something I do too often. 175 millimeters, so pretty long if you did want to post it. In terms of the grip section, pretty nice large grip section here, 11.6 at the widest, then right about the nearest 11.0. So very good grip section size. So about 18.6. This pen has a solid feel. I believe these are turned from solid rods of resin. They have that more substantial feel than an injected molded pen. 29 grams, so very nice, comfortable weight there. Now in terms of comparisons with other pens, here it is with a Aurora style. You can see it's a good amount bigger than that. And then here's a Mont Blanc 149, which is roughly the same length, but the 149 is definitely thicker. And here it is with a Lamy Vista, and it's a bit larger than that. So I would definitely say this is a full-size pen, if not a proper oversized pen. For the writing sample, we're going to be using a Mitsubishi bank paper notebook. These notebooks are really excellent with fountain pens, and for Blake's Broadcast viewers and subscribers, you can get 10% off with code BB10 at checkout. This is the Scribo Piuma, and this is a extra fine flex nib, and this is Edelstein Garnet. Try fast writing. You can see the feed does not really keep up with it flexing fast. Now, you would never really write like that, so I don't want to say that's fair. But for instance, we did see here a skip, and I refilled this just before doing this writing sample because I was almost out of it. But you do get some nice flex here. I mean, you can really see some nice line variation between the thin and the thick. But the feed doesn't necessarily want to keep up with it. See, but if you apply no pressure, you'll have no issues with any skipping. Yeah, see, doesn't like it. But for general purpose writing, this is a really, really nice nib. It is an extra fine, so you can probably hear there's some toothiness to it, but it's not really something I consider unpleasant. You can see how quickly, it flexes, and it has a nice spring to it. It's not, a vintage flex nib, obviously, but for a modern fountain pen nib, it is quite flexy. I do quite like it. In terms of reverse writing, that's feeling pretty scratchy. And the difference is basically nothing, so there's really no reason to do that. This is a really, really nice writing pen. Is it as nice as the feel that I reviewed? No. But in theory, these are the same kind of nibs, so I think there's just maybe some batch variation, but for an everyday flex nib, this is a really nice pen, especially if you can get one in a color that you like. So what are my pros and cons for the Scribo Piuma fountain pen? Well, the biggest pro here is the nib. With any Scribo, I think the biggest pro is always going to be the nib. Scribo really puts an emphasis on their nibs more than most other brands, and that's really where the value of the pen is. And the nib is the most important part of the pen, in my opinion. That's the heart of the pen, the engine of the pen. So I really like that we get 14 karat gold flex nibs from extra fine all the way to broad, and then they also give you 18 karat gold nibs from extra fine to triple broad to stub. So that's really, really nice. You get a lot more nib grades than other pens, and the nibs are very, very nice with ebonite feeds. This pen is a fantastic writer with nice flexibility and a good sort of snappiness for a modern flex nib. Now, I also like that they have these flat points on the body, on the top and the bottom, and it kind of prevents the pen from rolling on the desk. I like the minimalistic design, especially in black without the cap ring. I think that looks pretty good. We have a big, long grip section, very comfortable pen to use. Now, in terms of cons, well, we can start with the price. $500 for a cartridge converter pen is a lot. There's no getting around it. You know, if you can get one of these used like I did, I paid $260 for this. That's a very nice pen for $260. I think even, you know, $350, $375-ish. This is a nice pen. $500 just feels like a lot for this. It's not a piston filler like the Feel. Other cons, it really bugs me that this doesn't line up perfectly. And from speaking with other Scribo owners, this is normal that these don't align. Now I can twist it more, but it's too much pressure. There's no cap ring here. I mean, you're just kind of asking for a crack. Other possible cons, now this doesn't bother me at all. There is a big step down here, but they give you such a big grip section. I think for, you know, most people, unless you really like to hold it far back, you're not going to feel that, but it is a potential issue. The pen does post, but it's kind of a wonky posting. It does post securely. It's a little top heavy, but not the best pen for people that want to post. Now it is better than the Feel because the Feel doesn't post at all, but definitely a downside there. I think this pen looks good in this black color. In the brighter, more marbly resins, I don't think it looks that good. It suits this, you know, the minimalistic design suits black very well, but in the other colors, I think again we're having more unattractive Scribo pens, but it's not nearly as bad as the Feel, which is probably the ugliest pen I think I've reviewed on this channel. Sorry Scribo, you make a nice pen, but they don't look that good. The other thing I would say is the Scribo Feel that I had issues with the trim. No issues with that here, so I'll put that in the pro side. And the clip does have a quality look to it. It's well finished even underneath the clip, so that's nice. Okay, but that's pretty much it. Do you guys have this pen? Do you like this pen? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more fountain pen, paper, and ink videos, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much, and until next time.